Chapter 190. Part 6 of 6. Sure enough, my guide's eyes lit up and we appeared, somewhat predictably, in Egypt. I wasn't quite sure where in Egypt we would appear, but I wasn't at all surprised that it was in front of Kot's tent. What was somewhat unusual for Egypt were the very green trees dotting the desert here and there. What the hell are those doing here? I ask. Something is clawing its way into you, digging deeper into your mind and body, my guide said. Another interjection from Flo, your new wings and tail are taking root, spreading throughout your body. She suspects that you might start noticing extra nature-oriented things in the backgrounds of more memories. Will they have any effects? I do not know. I kinda wanted to go over and poke one, but I was finally being removed from Kot's tent. Rock was leading me out, holding my chain. Kot walked behind me, out of sight. Her eyes were very blatantly molesting my wings and the little smile on her face told me exactly what she was thinking about. Yet another who betrayed you when all you sought to do was help, Payne said. But don't feel bad. I'm sure she had a good reason. A good reason to hurt you. A good reason to break you, Fear said. Is there such a thing? To be honest, I fear the answer. There was no reason involved at all, Reason said. You knew that. And you knew you probably could have stopped it after the first night. And yet you let fear control you, Anger said, sounding very disapproving. When you should have been strong, you let another use you. I did, up until I didn't, I said. Eventually rage took hold of me and I wrecked her. I have a memory for you, Payne whispered from right next to my ear. I hadn't actually looked at them, so I had no idea she was so close. Before I could pull away, she kissed me on the cheek. We appeared in Jocasta's tent. Kot was lying on her cot, smiling and purring while staring off into space. Jocasta was staring at her. After a few seconds, the black cat shook her head. What is going on with you, Kot? Kot shook herself and blinked. You're staring off into space again. Don't tell me you're thinking about that thing. He's intoxicating. Ooh, I just can't get enough of his smell, his touch, his wings. Something about Nav just drives me wild. You already own him. Think about doing things to him while you're doing them to him. That isn't why you're here. I don't know why, but my thoughts keep going right back to him. Something in me is just drawn to him. And taking power over that soft body of his feels better than anything I've found before. If you can't get him out of your head, you're useless to me. Go play with him and get back when you can focus. Kot wistfully sighed and hopped off the cot. As soon as she walked out of the tent, Jocasta and the tent disappeared. I took the hint and started following Kot as she walked through the camp. It was currently day and she never did anything to me while the sun was still out, so I know she wasn't about to do things to me. What is wrong with me? The thought was incredibly intrusive and made me stop. Why do I feel this way? These aren't my thoughts. You are seeing into Kot's mind, the guide said. That may involve her thoughts. It's not his personality. His body isn't particularly attractive, though his wings are beautiful. What could it be? What is it about him that draws me so? Your mind is troubled, Kot, Rock suddenly said. I hadn't even noticed him until he spoke, so my guess is that Kot probably didn't either. You hide your feelings well, but you don't usually slink quite so much. It's the human. I feel so drawn to him, but I don't know why. You aren't the only one. Any of his loose feathers sell for a full flask of water in the camp. I've been considering plucking him and hoarding all the water for myself. That's not how the economy works. The more feathers you put into the market, the less each is worth. More to the point, if you touch a single feather on that human, I'll kill you myself. I would laugh at most who say that, but I have a feeling you might just follow through. Trust me, I have no intention of harming him. Truth be told, I have a fondness for him, 2. The poor lad's in way over his head, but he's making himself useful. It seems that everyone in the camp likes him. Most consider him a good luck charm, if nothing else. And yet no one else shares his bed. Perhaps you're falling for the poor fool. I don't think anything I've done to him constitutes love. Plenty of lust, but I know I don't love him. Yet my mind is always going back to him. Then I guess you should go see him. He just got back from a mission with his favorite psychopath and a few of the others. I'm sure he was missing your tender touch. Seeing me will surely put a smile right on his face, Kot sarcastically replied before continuing on her way. She almost always found me right after I got back, I said. She spent a lot of time watching me from afar, not saying anything. I only saw her a few times, so she probably wasn't trying too hard not to be seen. Of course, she also spent a lot of time up close, so it was kind of a mix-up. This memory is longer than usual. Kot is closer than usual, the guide replied. That was fair, so I shut up. It was just in time for another intrusive thought, too. I'm not even thinking about toying with him, now. I just want to be near him. I just want to smell his musk. Let it envelop me and set that flame off inside me yet again. Talk about fucking creepy, I muttered. I don't want to hurt him when I use him, yet I can't stop myself. A part of me loves this feeling and a part of me hates it. Enough to get back at the cause, apparently. I don't want to hurt him, but I just can't stop myself. Is this supposed to make me feel better? Because it's not working. Apparently that wasn't a question my guide was qualified to answer. You're slipping, Kot, Miguel suddenly said. That's when Kot realized his dagger was pressed against the back of her neck. She immediately jumped away, but he was already sliding the blade up. You obviously need to spend some time out of the camp. My mind has been on other things. You mean raping and mutilating our guest? He very casually asked. What did you just say? She coldly asked. The signs are easy to see for anyone who looks, my little kitty, he said, wagging one of his toe beans at her. He's been quite freshly raped, I'd say every night. And he hides it well, but the scratches on his back give him all kinds of pain and occasionally leak. I imagine the damage you're doing to him is quite impressive, especially given all the noises you make. Who else knows? She asked. I dunno, he replied with a shrug. It's a shame you claimed him. I was hoping to lay my stakes. Does he cry when you do it? I bet he does. Softies like him always do. Doesn't that just make it so much better? To be honest, I don't know how to describe the look on Kot's face, but it was a pretty even mix between disgusted and horrified. Wow, is all I could say. I'm so glad we killed him. He actually hasn't cried, Kot finally said. He's surprisingly strong, for someone so soft. Well, whenever you're ready to really break him, let me know and I'll help you. Once we're done, we can make him cry whenever we want. I think I'll be fine on my own. She finally left, not bothering to look behind her. I won't be like Miguel. I won't hurt him anymore. Everything in me wants it, needs it, but I have to stand above that instinct. I'm done acting like an animal. Tonight, I'll apologize. Tonight, I'll take him properly. Tonight, he'll finally hold me back without shivering. The damage I have done can't be undone, but I will help him heal. If I must lose myself in someone, I will not lord over them like the beasts who owned me. I will spoil him and treat him lavishly. Then perhaps the one who draws me so will be capable of tolerating my presence once again. Right as Kot's thoughts were drawing off, she caught sight of me. A smile instantly lit up her face. The other me probably would have left, but he was currently talking to the camp quartermaster about the supplies we stole. I finally remembered when this was, the night before I fought back. As soon as Kot wrapped her arms around me, the memory ended. So was that supposed to make me feel better, or? When one seeks meaning in the abstract, you have to do more than take things at face value, reason said. Kot felt drawn to you. Like Luna. Like twilight. And like any cat, she marked her territory quickly. Even the others in the camp felt some manner of pull toward you. Once again, my status as a human came in to haunt me, I said. So I have to ask myself. Of all my current suitors, who seems interested in my status as a unique human and who seems interested in me? Are you sure marriage is the right idea? Fear asked. If this is the way those who get close to you act, imagine what one who is as close to you as possible will do. Kot marked her territory and the others backed down, I said. A ring on my finger is all the territory marking I need. I'll make sure one of my wife's vows is to not go completely batshit crazy when she finally has me all to herself. That should handle it. That sounds like a lot of trust to put in a vow, Payne said. I'm sure they'll break it. One option is to continue maintaining a pseudo-harem and hoping all the extremely powerful and possessive bitches I'm courting never have any high-profile incidents about sharing the same dude, or flip shit on each other. Another option is completely cutting out all relationships entirely and forcing Aqua to service my lady parts, hoping that nobody goes batshit crazy after I cut everyone off. And the last option is trying my luck with marriage. I suggest picking the right spouse, Reason said. Thank you, I'll try. So, it's unfair to blame Kot's craziness completely on me. She may have been influenced by what I am, but she still made her choices. She chose to hurt me. Did she? Payne asked. You heard her thoughts. She couldn't help herself. We lie to ourselves the most, I said. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Kot didn't want to blame herself for what she did to me even though it was her that made the choice. Instead, she blames me, the person her choice affected. Trust me when I say that I wasn't raping myself those 7 long nights. Will you let her get away with this? Anger asked. Now you have seen inside Katrina's mind. You know what she thought of you, how she longed for you. You now know that others realized she was mistreating you and did nothing. Yeah, that shit was certainly all kinds of fucked up, I said. But Miguel's dead, so there's no reason to get angry at him. And can I really get mad at Kot for something she thought several years ago? She is no longer this person. I wouldn't necessarily say she's any better now, but she's certainly no longer like this. You're making excuses for her, Anger sighed, shaking his head. She has manipulated you from the start, Nav. Do you not see it? Now, I won't deny she might be manipulating me, but I didn't really get that from these memories. It's certainly something she would do. It's obvious to me, Fear said. She knows just which strings to tug to make you dance, my dear. Do you remember the first night she came to your room in your new mansion? Of course. It was spooky. And she played you like a fiddle, Fear said with a nod. Kot has her sad, dejected kitty act down perfectly. As soon as she got your sympathy, she knew she won and would get her way. You let your followers tug your strings far too much. Well, we'll talk about those memories when we get to them, I said. As to this memory, Kot did something terrible to me. The knowledge that she was so heavily affected by what I am doesn't change that, especially since I've already forgiven her. Now, this is just another traumatic event I'd like to stop affecting me so much. It happened, it sucked, it dragged me down for a while, and now I want to be over it. You seem determined to take nothing from so many of these traumatic events, Anger said. Are you trying to protect these people? Those who did such awful things? Or are you trying to protect yourself from having to confront some hard truths? And what truths might those be? I ask. Maybe it isn't wise to make someone who desires you like this a vassal, Payne said. Maybe it isn't wise to let someone as insane as this live. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time before she snaps. Not with an elemental in her head. Cascade may not do much to curb her creepiness, but she won't let Cot hurt anyone undeservedly. I do feel like Cot is a ticking time bomb, but I don't think she'll be able to hurt anybody when she snaps. As I already said, I don't like the idea of just killing someone to sort them out. She needs a path to redemption. I just have to figure out how to make her want to walk it. Threats might do the trick, Anger said with a shrug. Maybe, but I have a feeling that forcing her to change by threatening her might not be the wisest course of action. Reason's gonna have a larger role to play in that. But for now, I'm not focused on unfucking Cot. I'm focused on uncoitusing myself. So let's kick this shit into gear. Show the next slide. As you wish, the fake Flo said. Her eyes lit up and off we went to our next adventure. End chapter 190.